I'm Beth Kennedy.
Aaron.
Aaron.
Nice to meet you. Adira.
Adira?
Yeah, Adira.
And you're Andrea.
Yes.
Nice to meet you. Okay, so I know that Andrew, you and Aaron started off together, right? Can you kind of tell me how you guys met, how you got started?
Yeah. Andrew was in a band called At All Costs, and our friend Rory, who plays guitar with us in L.A.X, Rory Phillips, he records and produces bands, and he was recording At All Costs.
Okay.
And he's a friend of mine, and basically we were talking about them needing female vocals for a couple tracks, and he was like, well, come try it out. And that was the first time we met, and I recorded on air, and then he called me a couple weeks later and asked me to do another, a show. Like,
okay.
So it kind of just worked out.
And that was back in 2005? Okay. And your band, before you started, what was that called?
It's called At All Costs. It's like a heavy metal band, completely...
Oh, totally different.
Totally different genres, but nevertheless, there's some sort of there's melodic sensibilities, and so there were, like she said, a couple parts that we needed a female vocalist, which is something different altogether on a metal album. But,
okay.
So she came in and knocked it out.
Yeah, it is very different from metal.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so actually that brings me to my next question. You have all these different sounds going on. You've got the R&B, the pop, the house, and now I'm finding out the metal influence.
All these fusions, like you mean like food?
Yeah.
Like are there any fusions that don't work?
Good question. I don't know.
Country Western. We haven't tried that yet, so we don't know if it works.
We haven't tried
Which one?
It may, country.
Country.
We haven't tried country yet.
But you're from Austin.
So we'll see. Yeah.
Right.
Which is an interesting
Did you guys, are you from, like you grew up down here?
Born and raised.
Born and
High
raised.
school right across the river right there.
Austin High School?
Yeah, that's right.
The big one, the favorite.
Go Maroons. Oh, no, I'm not from here. I grew up in Phoenix.
I've been here since middle school, so I claim Austin.
Oh,
Where
really?
in Phoenix did you grow up? In Mesa, Tempe?
No,
Scottsdale?
straight up Phoenix.
Straight up Phoenix.
Yeah, definitely.
And you said you also grew up down here.
Mm-hmm.
Were you always involved in music?
I've been singing for my whole life. I guess, yeah, more so. Like later teens, I guess, and most lately with them.
Who wrote "Come and Get Me"?
Question: the music, lyrics.
Lyrics.
I think I worked on it. Like he had given me when I started with L.A.X, we had like maybe 5 or 6 songs that were already written that he gave to me, and I just sort of like tweaked some of them lyrically, and that was definitely one that I think I worked on a little bit. I don't know. Or did we do that one together?
It's probably just something of the. I don't know. Good question. That's a long one. So why do you ask?
Well, because
that was the first one we recorded.
The I am, I will be, I'll be. It's kind of
like I am the one you fuck, or I am the. It's just so.
It's pretty racy.
It's pretty racy.
It is, but I like that, and the reason why is because like is it about a relationship, or is it about a relationship that's like utopian that doesn't happen? Like lay your cards on the table. I don't know.
I think it is just sort of about like. Just being like, okay, like here I am, and you can do something about it,
or not,
kind of. And I think Andrew's take on it is like, same sort of deal, but definitely more from a male perspective.
It's like a hypothetical fantasy, I guess, for me. That's like the lyrics a little bit. It's always fun to imagine things.
It's a great song.
Thank you.
So this is kind of a shot in the dark, but I was kind of wondering about the sound, and it's going to sound strange, but it kind of reminded me of The Cure back in the 80s. Was there any kind of influence, or did you ever listen to
My mom's
that?
favorite band is The Cure, so I definitely grew up listening to The Cure my whole life. I haven't really thought of it in that way.
Like musically, there's references?
Yeah, because I heard like when he was playing it for me, I heard a lot of like the really kind of a solemn mood, and then the backbeat. The beat was really strong, but then it was like a really kind of a solemn mood throughout. And I was just kind of wanted to ask you about how you create that with your music, or how you feel.
I mean, he writes all of the music, like all of the beats and everything he produces. So, you can talk about.
I guess I never thought about The Cure for me personally. Not a serious influence, but nevertheless, the development of the 80s, or in the 80s, the development of the synthesizer and the drum machine. I mean, that's profound.
And it's
You know,
pop.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
pop. There's pop. Yeah, Cure's always been pop.
It reminded me of like Prince and Ween. Like,
That's an
And that was
Yeah,
another
that's a
question
good-
we were going to
that's
ask
a
you
great fusion.
about Ween and that connection, and
Yeah.
if you've been influenced by anybody in particular.
I think we all just have an incredible, like a really vast musical taste. You know, none of us really like listens to one type of music. We all listen to tons and tons.
Pretty
of pretty much everything.
Not a friend.
The only reason that we say country might not fit is I don't think any of us really listen to country
Okay.
Sure.
much. You know, so,
All right.
Yeah.
Or
But
techno?
everything else.
Not so much?
I guess not. Maybe if
Listen to like
that's
really
a
heavy stuff like that necessarily. But
Yeah.
it's, you know, I mean, definitely pop.
Yeah, everything's a little bit closer from whatever genres they pull from. They're all centralized into maybe like a, sort of like a pop sensible. You know, there's 3 minutes, 30 seconds. There's, you know, so.
No, that actually answers the question very well. No, that totally makes sense. I'm really curious about your name, though. Like the airport. You didn't say you met at the airport, so
No.
where is the LAX coming to it? Where do we get that kind of identity?
Long time ago.
I already checked it.
I wasn't even around then.
Right. I just kind of just trying to just fall on a name. I think we were playing a house, so you have to have a name before you play a show. So I think my friend and I were just sitting around and had a couple off the list. That sounded right. That sticks. I've been to the L.A.X. That's cool. In a way, it's like I don't know.
For me, I think I think in terms of like visually a lot, and I think LAX is great because it's really. When I think of electronic music, I think of like geometric shapes, sort of, and there's no round lines. There's like nothing, you know. I mean, it's very like geometric. So I think it just
Fitting for
works
the-
that
yeah.
way, you know.
Okay.
Stuck.
It just feels right. You
That's
know, and
the
it
way
feels
I
right.
think. I think of things in shapes
great.
sometimes.
It's artistic,
I'm a
actually.
hairdresser, so I think of things.
Ah, that makes a lot of sense, actually. Okay, so how do you feel like your experience with cosmetology, basically, everything? How does that combine into your music, like you said? How do you bring that in?
I don't know. I mean,
We
she's
all have our day
hot.
jobs.
Hot, really. Yeah, we all have our. We all, you know. I mean, that's like my career, and then this was something that just got kind of added on top of it, and now it's, you know, starting to sort of take over and kind of creep into the, you know,
It is,
forefront
because
of my mind. For
This
sure.
huge event will probably make a big impact for you guys. Where do you see yourselves headed in the next, say, 6 months? What's the plan?
I hope we can take full advantage of this. And hopefully, a lot of people will see. Like I said, it's like a first impression in a lot of ways. So we're planning on nailing it, and when we do,
Tomorrow morning.
yeah,
To the moon.
more people. Hopefully, we'll get more chances. Maybe play some
Yeah,
festivals.
get on the
maybe
road.
turn
Yeah.
some heads.
Do you want to get on the road tour?
That's the thing.
Go to Miami.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously, they would love you there.
That Ultra Music Festival. You guys.
Ultra music. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do.
Is there anything else you want to add? Anything that we didn't cover that you'd like to have clear about you guys? About
Record.
Just for the record.
Record. I don't know.
One word to describe how you feel right now.
Elated.
For me, we're so excited. That's 2 words.
That's 2 words. But don't go with it.
Damn.
Damn.
Temporary.
That's good. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. That's awesome. Cool.
Damn.
All right.